Welcome back, everyone, to the Path of the Awenydd, your guide to inspired living using the power of astrology and tarot. I am your big bad wolf astrologer, Blythe Mardrug, here to guide you into your weekly forecast. This week, it's all about opposites, opposites, opposites. We've got Uranus opposite Mercury. We've got the Sun opposite Mars. We have Venus coming up into opposite aspect to Neptune. And not only that, we've got the Sun and Mars also squaring up to Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto, creating a T square. Also, we've got the new moon in Libra coming up into the end of this week, and we also have the dreaded Mercury retrograde. Yay! I can hear everyone shouting at the same time. And I'm here to guide you on not only how to survive these challenging aspects, but also to how to thrive through them. So I will see you in a few minutes. Hi, Taurus. This is your weekly forecast for the week commencing 12th of October 2020. Starting off this week, and for the rest of the remaining week, we have this T square between your Mars planet in your 12th house in the sign of Aries, with the Sun in your 6th house in the sign of Libra. Both of them squaring up to Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter in your 9th house in the sign of Capricorn. Now, with Mars being in your 12th house, you've got this inner drive inside of you, and this is subconscious desire, and possibly to do with some religious aspect or this learning aspect. Um, could be this drive to do some studying or some higher learning, like university, or it could just be the study of religion. There's this philosophy aspect as well. And we've got the sun in your 6th house, which is your daily routine, but it's also having to do with being of service to others, which sort of links it back up to Mars, because Mars is society in general, being a service to um, society. We're talking mental institutions, hospitals, anything that we feel constrained in. But it's the society's healing area. So there's this real desire to do something in those areas, to be of service to someone else, and this possibly has something to do with the religious aspect, but there's also possibly this need to learn, being able to need to know. And you got Jupiter, sorry, Pluto in your 9th house, which is the great revealer. He likes to dig into things and find the hidden truths. So there's this need to find the hidden truth between all these aspects. Now, this energy flowing between Mars and the Sun, it's causing you to be very fidgety, you're just this drive to do something. But then we have these planets that are just cutting into that energy. And you got Saturn, who's Father Time, um, it has to do with restrictions. So there's possibly that you're feeling that maybe society in its whole is not doing something that you want it to do, and you're trying to figure out what that is. And then you got Jupiter here, and it's using that energy between Mars and the Sun, and it's a bit overpowering. Uh, you're spinning your wheels, uh, more or less. So this T square causes a lot of tension, and it's going to be all through the week. With Saturn dropping out of the T square, but the other two are remaining. Now, this tension in T square has a release valve, usually in this void space right here down in Cancer, in your 3rd house of communication, and your neighborhood and your community. So there's this link between the communication in your community. So I believe that if you were to get involved maybe within your community itself, your local community, start off small, and maybe helping out with certain areas like maybe soup kitchens or your charity shops, or something, be able to express, to communicate your desire to want to better um, um, society in its whole. Um, The next aspect that we start off with that remains for next, at least for the remaining of the week, is this Uranus in your first house, opposite Mercury in your seventh house of partnerships. Now, Uranus in your first house means that you've got this feeling of being the rebel, the being the one who doesn't follow the rules. You're like, you're being the great tearaway, the rebellious nature. You're starting to feel that a little bit. But you got Mars trying to communicate to you, your close friends, your romantic relationships, your business partnerships. I'd say more just like close friends. You're trying to communicate that uh, what you feel that you need to correct in society, why you what your revolution is all about. You have this need to communicate that, and in this opposite nature, there's a struggle between the two. So you just got to find a balance. You got to be able to find a way to express yourself and be able for people to be able to understand what it is that you're trying to do. Now this comes out in this tension that is between Mars, Uranus and Mercury. It has also developed a T square in the Moon in your fourth house. So this is affecting an emotional aspect within your immediate surroundings, your family, your home. Um, in this, there's just wanting to be able to to have some boundaries, but there's trouble with doing that. But then we have Venus in your fifth house, which is your creative house, and that's giving some release into this T square that we've got here. Now, Venus is all about wanting to enjoy life, being the finer things in life. And fifth house is about creativity and art, and your passions, things that you do to enjoy yourself. So I think this is saying that find a way to creatively express your views of this rebellious side that you're feeling at the moment, and you should be able to communicate that better to your close friendships, the people that are closest to you, so they'll be able to understand you a lot better. And also that you come off as quite charming anyway. And there's also maybe this romantic relationship. Maybe there's something in a romantic relationship that you're having that can help you out. Maybe a partner can help you out the way to express yourself that you maybe wouldn't otherwise do yourself. I think it's more of the creative aspect and being charming. You're charming in this aspect anyway, so your ideas to get along further as well. And if we move forward a little bit, we have uh, the moon coming into aspect with the great T square that we've got here with Mars and the sun. So this is saying um, this aspect of wanting to help this T square of wanting to help people and wanting to be of service to others, and there's this tension of maybe trying too hard or not being able to get it across. You've got this moon in your fourth house of home and family. Uh, there's a real need maybe to create be able to express yourself creatively in your home in an emotional level. Uh, there's a need to create maybe some mental or emotional um, boundaries, and just so that you don't lose yourself into all this. Because in the sixth house, you can lose yourself into the minute details. In the 12th house, you can lose yourself in just the overall society of being feeling fully on your well. So you just need to take this home time down with you, and just be able to create this safe place for you to be able to recharge yourself. And all right, and then further along, we get the moon coming into uh, the fifth house along with Venus, and that is also starting to express itself with a trine towards Saturn Pluto, and Jupiter, all having to do with this T square, which is happening this week. And we've got the moon in your fifth house being creative, and this subconscious need or uh, this emotional response to being creative, and to be able to release some of that tension as well. You also got Venus and the moon coming up opposite to Neptune in your 11th house. So there's this where we would this creative, this love of creativity, this emotional need for creativity has an ideal in your goals and your dreams. So this is maybe something that you've wanting to do anyway, that you've been wanting to express yourself. Uh, Neptune's got this it's the ideal dream. So this is something that you've been dreaming about, been thinking subconsciously about. And it's also in Pisces, which gives it more of a spiritual realm. And it's also to do with your friendships, your social circles as well. It's something to be able to express to other people your desire, or this inner working that you've got with Mars in your 12th house, this subconscious needs to get things out of your head onto some kind of media. And this, I think, will line up with Neptune. There's a bit of a we want the idea. Neptune is retrograde, so there's um, a realistic view. Normally, Neptune becomes a bit more cloudy, but in its retrograde aspects, you see things more clearly, and sometimes not to your liking, but it's what reality is. So you've got this rea realistic way of be able to socialize and being able to keep your friends and your goals together. And you've got this need to express yourself creatively, and this emotional need as well. And so this creates a outlet for all this tension that's in this T square. You also have Mercury uh, stationary retrograde. So any communications with your close friends or your uh, personal relationships could start to be a bit fuzzy. We all know that Mercury retrogrades that one of this the Friday 13th of astrology is like what I like to say, what like what I like to call it. So everybody's a bit scared of it, but it's just taking your time because with Mercury retrograde, we feel like we're running out of time. Things just get away from us. We don't slow down to think about what we're trying to communicate and how we're trying to say it. So I think at this time we just need to you just need to think before you speak, and take your time when communicating, especially those closest to you, because they're feeling they could feel that you're miscommunicating what you're wanting to do. So, and then we go further along, and Moon moves into Libra, and it starts to aspect with its. Let's go back. It creates the new moon, which is in Libra, which is a good way to start focusing on partnerships, uh, compromises. Uh, yes, uh, and that it joins up into the T square as well, creating further tensions. But this time it's a bit more emotional, a bit more raw, and it's trying to shine light into those hidden little areas in your subconscious, which is dealing with Mars in your subconscious as well. So there's this real fiery aspect inside of you that is just trying to get out. And the moon is just adding to that. Luckily, we've got this little sextile with Jupiter, and you also got the fifth house in creativity with the Venus. So there's that aspect of friendships and creativity and your ideals and your dreams and your goals. So those are going to relate all to this T square all week. Uh, and there's it's going to be this way of being able to express yourself creatively through some kind of media, maybe not through speech. I guess it's acting. You could do it that way, or some kind of writing or something like that. But again, yes. So this definitely this Venus later in the week is going to help you creatively uh, let some of that tension off. And also we've got that the communication side in Cancer, which is the opposite of the T square. So that keep that in mind when you're trying to communicate or trying to deal with this need to be of service to others. Just make sure that you look at the local area, your local community, help them out. That will help go a lot farther. You don't have to be thinking world stage, and start with things close to home. Make sure that you can help out those closest to you. So, um, and I, for the major aspects, I think that is it. We do have the moon later on, like on Sunday, conjunct with Mercury, which is going into this opposite of Uranus. Again, it's got this emotional factor coming into your relationships, and your expression of your rebellious nature, um, subconscious aspect when talking to people. And you still got it's trending up to Neptune, so you've got that friendship area. So maybe talk to your friends. Help. They should be able to help you out and make anything you're trying to make to your closest friends. Maybe your social circle can help you clarify. Right, Taurus. I hope that helps you out. If you like this video, please click on the like and the thumbs up and subscribe. And I will hopefully see you later.